Thank you for tuning in. This is Eric Thompson. I am president and lead financial advisor of Peerless Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisory firm located in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm going to talk about annuities today. And I think this is a very confusing topic for investors, and rightfully so. There's so many different types. There's a lot of junk out there. And it seems like most people either love annuities or hate annuities, and it doesn't seem to be much in between. I'm kind of on the in-between side, but they have to be the right kind of annuities. What we're going to talk about in this video is there's four main types of annuities. We're going to talk about how they work, and we're also going to talk about as a consumer. It's kind of buyer beware. You have to really understand how the fees work, the time commitments you could be locked in for, and the motivation behind the traditional commission-based sales agent that may be sort of pushing them. So first off, let's define what an annuity is. It really refers to a stream of cash flows. So if you think about winning the lottery, you get the choice. You can take the lump sum or you can take the annuity. And most people understand it's pretty cut and dry. Annuity represents a guaranteed stream of cash flows for your life. And those are annuities in their purest form. And technically they're the first of four types called an immediate annuity. If I had a client that came into some money and they were maybe getting ready to retire, and they said, you know what, Eric, I want zero risk. I want this to last the rest of my life. I want to put my spouse on it so it lasts the rest of their life. And I want the highest guaranteed income I can get. I would shop around for an immediate annuity. Annuities are always issued by insurance companies because annuities have various guarantees. The insurance company is the one that offers that guarantee. So the big insurance companies such as Bright House, Allianz, Prudential, MetLife, those type of entities are the traditional providers of annuity products. Now that first type of annuity, the immediate annuity, those terms have actually gotten a little bit better recently because interest rates have gone up. The insurance company is actually taking that money, that lump sum that the investor has, and they're buying bonds, government and corporate bonds with it, and interest rates now are higher. They're getting a return on those bonds. They're estimating the client's life expectancy. They're doing the math, and they're giving a guaranteed payout. And a couple years ago, when interest rates were rock bottom, these things the terms were just awful. The payouts were awful. Now they're actually a little bit better. So second type of an annuity is called a fixed annuity. Now these last three types are known to be deferred annuities. The first one's immediate annuity. Your principal's gone, now you just have guaranteed income. The second type are deferred annuities. They're more of an investment. You don't give away your principal for income, you invest it with the insurance company. And a fixed annuity gives you a guaranteed interest rate for a specific term. Generally 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, right in there. And these terms have gotten better too. I just was looking at one for a client that was, I think it was 5.25% for 5 years. It's very much like a certificate of deposit or a CD at the bank. No risk, at least unless the insurance company fails. And that's one thing that I look at and investors should look at is the ratings of the insurance companies. You don't want to go by some fly-by-night B or C rated company. The big ones, the A-rated, AA, AAA rated insurers are going to be your best options there. So we have immediate, then we have fixed, deferred. And the way these deferred annuities work from a tax standpoint, assuming they're not bought in a retirement account, is if you put, say, $100,000 in a fixed annuity, it gets its 5% or whatever interest rate every year. You do not pay taxes on that every year. You don't get a 1099 like you would if it were in a bank CD or bank savings account. It's tax deferred. Then the gain builds up, and then when you start spending the money and withdrawing it, you have to take the gain first, and it's counted as ordinary income, taxed as ordinary income. So that's what they mean by tax deferred annuities. So the fixed type, guaranteed interest rate. Then we have something called fixed index. And what these are is a way to get exposure to the upside of the stock market. Generally, they use an index such as the S&P 500, but they still guarantee that you will never lose. But instead of getting, say, 5% a year, you'll get what the stock market makes for that 12-month period up to a cap. And maybe the cap's 10%. So if the S&P 500 does 18% in that 12-month period of time, you make 10. However, if the S&P 500 goes down during that 1-year period of time, you won't lose anything. The worst you can do is 0. So you're always going to get between 0 and the cap. And these can have what they call surrender periods or terms. Generally, they're 5 to 8 years. Sometimes, and that's generally if you use a commission-based sales agent because of the way commissions work. I'm a fee-only fiduciary. I don't accept commissions from insurance companies. I have access to lower-cost versions of this that do not tie up clients' money for that length of time. So that's still relatively low risk because we have zeros are worst we can do. The last one's called a variable annuity, and this is one varied because your return varies. We invest in mutual fund-like sub-accounts. We go up and down with the market. We still get tax deferral, but we do have principal risk. The market goes down, your account goes down. Sometimes these can be offered with income guarantees to where if stocks go down and they never come back, you'll still get a minimum guaranteed income for the rest of your life. These can be pretty good. However, the fees can add up. I'm in the process of changing over an annuity for one of my clients. She was paying north of 3% a year in fees between the agent's sort of built-in commission fees, the insurance fees, and we got it down to less than half that because of without resetting any surrender charges. So these can be good for clients that want upside of the stock market, but they maybe want some base level of a guarantee. I currently have a case where a client of mine worked as a medical specialist for 30 plus years at one of the major hospital systems. And he's got his 401k, but then he has a pension. And what a pension is he can choose between either an annuity, monthly payments for life at retirement, or he can take a lump sum payment, kind of like the lotto analogy. And it's looking like we might take the lump sum payment, so he has some flexibility, he has some upside, but we're putting an income guarantee on it from one of the insurance companies. And worst case scenario, he'll get not quite as much as what the annuity was going to pay him, but almost as much with the principal as well. So those products can make sense, if you're giving up the traditional guaranteed pension. So I hope that gives you a better understanding. We have the immediate annuities, and then we have these deferred annuities. We have a fixed rates, which are better lately, 5% guaranteed. And these rates change every day, so by the time you watch this, they're likely to be different. We have the index annuity, and we have the variable annuity. The biggest sort of complaint that I hear from when I run into people that have been sold these is that, I didn't know I had to stay in this 8 years, or I didn't know this could be down in value. I thought it was a guarantee. And what's happening there is for agents that work on commission, the commissions on these can be quite high, 5, 6, 7% of the investment. And they're hidden. It doesn't really come off the top. It gets taken out over time, which can eat into the returns and the upside. And so they can be abused by salespeople. They sometimes gloss over the fact that you have to be in it 7 or 8 years. They don't tell you that it can go down in value. They only tell you it's an income guarantee, not a principal guarantee. And they don't always have access to lower cost options. In some cases, they're only insurance licensed, not securities licensed. So they're unable to do anything outside of these annuity products. So I definitely see times when clients were put in either an inappropriate product altogether or a product that was a little junky, a little too high cost. So I don't use them a ton, but there are situations where I think they make sense. And I thought that was a good summary of the different types. And I've seen about every annuity under the sun. So if you have an annuity, if you've been pitched one, if you have questions, as always, give me a call. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.